What's up guys, Thomas here for another video, and today we are reviewing and unboxing one of the smallest drones on the market today. So from a young age I've been interested in aviation and anything to do with aircraft and flying. So as the technology got better, and as you can see nowadays, drones and unmanned vehicles have become very popular. So today we are going to take a look at one of the smaller drones on the market, the DJI Spark. This is the Fly More combo, which includes a little bit more than just the drone. This includes also the controls, some prop guards, and also an extra battery, a smart battery, and the actual charger for that. This is my first time using a DJI product. I've known DJI for a while, but you know, I haven't really made that jump into purchasing one of the devices. So today we're gonna unbox this, take a look at it. I don't know what to expect specifically. I know I have to register this drone. That'll be the first step. If you do have a drone, anything over, I think 5 grams has to be registered by the FAA. So I'll get that process done right now. Let's get the unboxing knife and we can get this opened. Let's get into it. Pretty cool packaging, shrink wrap around it. You got the Spark Fly More combo. I think this goes for $6.99, so pretty much 700 bucks. Here we go. Get this off. And here we go. There's a little seal right here, obviously a tamper-proof seal. Boom, that's done. Let's take a look, guys. Ha, another tamper-proof seal. This one here was also blended in. Let's get into it now. All right, you get to see it before I did. I don't know what's in there yet. Let's see here. All right, nothing, just a big black box. Open it up, open it up. Let's see, what should I get first? I'm gonna get this black case out first. Looks like a satch or a bag. That's pretty cool. That's a decent looking pouch or case, kind of like plastic / leather. The next thing we have here, it looks like a box. It says instructions on there. That's cool. And then we have probably the actual drone in this little case right here. Very high density foam case, is black. And nothing else in there, just a piece of foam at the bottom. And that's it, that's your DJI Spark. Put this to the side right here maybe, I don't know. I'll put it right here. All right, let's see what's in here. I see some thick manuals in here. Wow. All right, guys. A lot of reading material here. Fly More combo, disclaimer and safety guidelines, quick start guide, that's probably cool. Your remote controller that comes with the Fly More combo, prop guards. That's it. Let's see what's in this bag here. This feels pretty good, man. Spark shoulder bag. All right, so unzip it. You got your silica gel. That's good to get all the moisture out. Unpack that. What I see in here is a charger, almost like a USB, 2 USB chargers, and a regular plug. These are your prop guards. Cool, I don't have to buy those. Here's your other end of your charger that goes into the wall outlets, the US socket. Cool, there's a little foam pad in here, and that's connected to the controller to keep the controller joysticks in the center. All right, this controller feels pretty sturdy. But cool. I like the finish on there, like a matte finish. All these concealed zippers, I mean, it's pretty cool. All right, pull it out. There's a USB to micro USB. That might be a charger for the controller maybe. All right, this looks like a charging deck. You can charge 3 batteries at the same time. And I think that's it. Let's get to the big boy here. All right, hopefully I don't damage this thing. Very, sorry, I just shook it. I'm like, I hope I don't damage it. I'm gonna shake it. Anyways, pretty hard foam case here. And let's do it together. Open this up. Hopefully you can see it. Here we go. I haven't seen it yet. Boom. Here's your DJI Spark. Very small, very light. It's weird because I've been using this small one for the past 2 years or so, and this thing still looks pretty small. Very compact. All the slots here for the Spark itself, a battery, another battery, and these are extra spare props, which is pretty cool. So you have some extra props here. There it is. Do I dare pull this out? All right, so there you go. This thing feels like a toy, and I'm sure some of you guys will say this is a toy, but I never bought a toy that cost 700 bucks. Here's your battery. I'll read the instructions how to install that. That's supposed to be a smart battery, so it can tell you telemetry as far as temperature and the battery life. So I don't own any other drone like a Mavic or a Phantom or anything like that. So I can't really compare the size, but I mean, that's pretty small, really small actually. Here's my hand. I have pretty big hands, and that thing really fits in the size of your hand. Here's the front of it. I guess you saw the back. Here's your camera, and it's mounted to a gimbal stabilizer, so you have still images. This thing is a 2-axis gimbal versus a 3-axis gimbal. Some of the more expensive drones have a 3-axis gimbal. So we have one in the vertical plane and the tilt as well. Where we don't have a gimbal or stabilization is in the yaw. So the way they remedy this is by having very, very smooth yaw rates in the DJI controller. So we'll see how that works. I don't think that's a big deal. Most of the time you'll be accelerating forward and the drone will tilt forward and backwards and left to right. So those are the big axes that need the stabilization. These props feel so light, which makes sense. They're supposed to be light. They fold inwards and that's it. So for comparison here, I have my little toy drone here I got from the store in the mall, and that gives you a good idea of how small that red drone actually is. Just tiny. As far as the specs for the DJI, since it's a serious machine here and it needs to be registered by the FAA, I don't see any specs on here, but on my memory, this drone can last for, I think, a flight time of 15 to 16 minutes, and I think that's at 12 miles an hour. So not going extremely fast, which I think is 30 miles an hour in sport mode. But that's not bad. 50 minutes, 60 minutes is not that bad. I think the Mavic Pro does, I think, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So a little bit less battery life, but it's a smaller battery, a smaller drone. The top speed is around 30, 35 miles an hour, which is adequate in my case. I won't be riding a bike or running as fast as that. All right, guys, I am gonna put the battery in here, power this up, and I don't know if I'll do an indoor flight. What do you think? I think we're down for that. Let's get this thing started, situated, and get her in the air, maybe in the house. All right, guys, I'm back here. I just read a little bit about the manual, and they recommend that you charge the battery before you start flying it. In fact, you have to charge the batteries to activate it. So I don't know how true that is, but apparently these batteries can't be used unless you activate them first by charging it. So I have my charging pad here. This can charge 3 batteries simultaneously. There's a little groove right here. You have the grooves on this side here as well. Just line those up and it clicks into place. On the Spark now, it's a little bit different. You have these 2 knobs, one on each side. You have to pull down away from the Spark and it just springs out. Put this in here, it clicks, and there you go, you're good to go. Here's your port, and I think it's one way, so you can't really mess it up. So that goes like this. Plug this into the wall and we're good. The cool thing about this, I guess, you can also charge maybe your charger and your cell phone because you have 2 USB ports here as well. So that's pretty cool. So I'll get that started. In the meantime, before I do that, I'll share a little bit about the ports and sensors on the Spark. First of all, you have this little windshield right here. That's where all your sensors are, your 3D sensors that recognizes your hand gestures, follow tracking, and also for obstacle avoidance. You also have your camera here. There's no sensors in here, but this is a 12 megapixel camera. It can record video at 180p at 30 frames per second. So that's the only downside to the Spark. I think the other DJI products record in 4K, I think at 60 frames per second. Besides that, you also have some downward facing sensors, and that's also for terrain. It also measures your the height above the ground, so not sea level. I know you're talking about technical terms, aviation terms. It just measures the height above the terrain. There's no rear sensors. In the back, all you have are 2 ports, a micro USB port and a SD or micro SD slot for your memory card to record. Besides that, you have your lights for positioning and for nighttime flying. Okay guys, so I'm gonna charge this. It says minimum of 50 minutes. I'm gonna do that, and then once these are charged, I'll, I guess, walk myself through the process of getting this started. Then I'll go outside and use the remote and do a manual flight. So let's get this charged up. Okay, charging this is fairly simple. You have your brick right here, the cord that goes to the tray, and this holds 3 batteries. But right now I'm charging only 2, that's included with the kit. Here's your actual cord. It has a little bit of DJI branding on there, which is pretty cool. Just like a laptop, plug this into the brick. Cool protective piece on here, slide that off. And we just plug this, don't fall, boom, in there. And initially these weren't lit, but now they are. This tells you how charged the batteries are. So there's a series of, I think, 4 lights. So when it's fully charged, all 4 of these lights will be illuminated and we'll be good to go. All right, I am here trying to set up my DJI Go 4 app while my battery is charging. Agreed. Pretty cool animation. All right, I gotta sign up for this. So let's put this information in here. All right, so all my credentials are in there. Now I gotta enter the QC code here, the serial number. That's what it looks like. I think I have to have my drone powered to have this app registered. So I'll wait till the battery charges and then get going. All right, now the Spark is being updated with the latest firmware. I still have to update the firmware on the remote control. So far, so good. All right, guys, it's been close to an hour, hour and a half. The battery's charge is in the drone. Before I go out there, since this is my first time flying this, I'm gonna put the prop guards on there. All you have to do is lift this clip up, put this big circular part under the motor, under the light, twist so that this piece slides into the arm, and clip that down to hold it in. These have no markings on them, so they go on the same way. Slip them over the light. You rotate the whole assembly so it's under the arm, and you put the clip on there. Now we have 4 propeller guards, and these are pretty good. So in case it hits, hopefully not me, but if it hits the wall or something, then the propeller blades aren't gonna hit the wall or the object and then crash. So with that said, there's only one thing to do is go outside and try to fly this thing. Let's go outside. The dog chases me. All right, time to power up the drone. I'm still trying to learn this thing, so bear with me. All right, I think we are good to go. Let's try to do a takeoff, see what happens. Alright, so it works. Alright, it doesn't seem any different than a regular drone. Here I am right here. Alright, it's doing a good job. I'm gonna bring it down lower. That's me. As I get closer, it should move backwards. Wow. I'm surprised it didn't right. That was cool. Turn this thing off. Come here, puppy. Woo! Alright. Alright, that was intense. That was probably less than, I don't know, a couple minutes of flying. I'm gonna check this footage right now and see if it even recorded. It looks pretty darn good. That's what's going on there. That's just me getting the feel for it. The yaw is not that bad. But there it is. I mean, it's recording me. Yes, it's 1080p. And I don't even think this is high resolution here on my phone. So I think for just the first go, the first pass at it with no experience, it's very stable. As I got above the roofline, I could see a little bit of a wiggle because of the wind above the roof line. But I mean, take a look at that. That's not too bad. I have another battery here. Probably just switch the battery out and then go for another flight and just see how it is. I might go a little bit higher. I don't think I'm gonna go in anyone else's yard for now, but we're just still trying to get this to work. All right. So here we are. We're recording. I'm gonna do a takeoff. And here we go, guys. Here it is. Are you serious? Let's try something. Wow, I need to update the battery firmware before I can take off. When they said this is a smart battery or an intelligent battery, they weren't kidding. So the battery didn't have its firmware updated yet, so let's try it again. We're recording here. It knows where I'm at, maybe. All right, guys, let's do this takeoff. Let's go up. Let's go a little higher. Check out this lake.
Low battery warning. Battery level is low. Aircraft frequency almost 10 seconds.
All right, guys, I spent a couple, I guess, hours playing with this thing, both on just the setup side and also maybe a good half an hour of flying. The Spark, this thing is great. No complaints as of now. There's a lot of features in there that I haven't even used yet. Hopefully, I can use that in the coming days and just get familiarized with the camera settings, the yaw rates, the climb rates, maybe try sport mode. But this thing seems very, very, very stable, very, very easy. It just seemed like a perfect drone. I just wish the battery life was a little bit longer. For my application, this is the perfect drone. I know there's the Mavic Pro and stuff like that. That's, I think, $1,000 starting price. But for what I'm doing, just for like, you know, pictures and little shots here and there for my channel and stuff like that. Perfect drone. The images are all stable. Today wasn't a windy day, maybe around 5 miles an hour winds, but it still worked pretty well, handled pretty well. Besides that, no real problems, man. This thing is a champ. It does get a little warm. We are in Florida though, so that's understandable. One thing that freaked me out a little bit, after my first round, my first go at it, there was a message, you know, I came back in the room, I switched to the second battery that was provided, and I put the battery in, went outside, and it didn't want to take off. It said that the firmware of the battery wasn't compatible with the firmware of the drone. And that's because I didn't update the second battery. So it's that intelligent, it's that smart that everything has to be in sync with the drone for it to fly. So if you buy a new battery, I'm sure you have to update the firmware on the battery as well. And that's pretty cool because you want to know the battery percentage, you want to know how far the drone can actually go before having to come back. And all that information goes to the battery. So it makes sense to get the updated firmware. The controller is great. I thought it was going to be a little bit weird with the screen at the bottom, but it worked flawlessly. But this thing works great. I haven't tried the sport mode. I haven't assigned a function to this switch or the FN, the function switch there. Eventually I will. As far as initial impressions, I'm highly impressed. I'm sure once I get comfortable with the drone, I'll take off the prop guards. In my opinion, every time you add a weight to aircraft, it's gonna either slow it down because of drag or add a weight to it and less battery life and so forth. So eventually I will take off the propeller guards. One thing I did notice was the front sensors. On 2 occasions I did walk very close to the drone and it didn't back away. Maybe that works only in the intelligent mode or in the sensing mode, I guess they call it. If I'm flying it manually, it's not backing away. So I have to read into that and see why it's not moving back. As far as me and ratings, for now, I have to say this thing gets 5 lows out of 5. It's a really stable drone. I'm not using 4K. I can't even upload to 4K. So 1080p is more than adequate. And I'll be playing with this in the future. Hopefully it helps me with my videos, and hopefully you guys see the difference. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys staying with me this whole time. It's a long video. If you like these kind of videos, hit the like button and leave a comment. If you want to see some further information about the drone, the remote, or the accessories, leave a comment, hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe, guys. I appreciate that. Until next time, peace.